Hi, my name is James, and welcome to Sobriety Road. This is going to be a totally unscripted uh, YouTube channel. I just came up with it today. So where to begin? Where to start? Shoot. So I went to the doctor today. I had to get my medication checked and refills and all that, And so for the past couple of years, I've had this spot in my stomach, like right here in the lower left part of my stomach, right underneath my rib cage. And I've had CAT scans done and this and that, and they never found anything. My doctor, she all of a sudden left, I don't know, probably a year ago. And she was replaced by this other guy, so this other doctor. And, I was just getting used to her, and then I had this new guy. So I knew when I went to this appointment today, I knew I was going to talk about this issue. And so he gets in there and he said, "Well, how you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm actually, we talked about the medication first, and then he said, "Well, other than that, how you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to tell him about this spot." So then he asked me to lay down on the table, and he started pressing on this spot here, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, it's pretty sore." And I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Well, that's where your pancreas is located." And right after he said that, he said, "So do you drink?" And I just rolled my eyes back, and I was like, "Yeah, yes, I do. I drink." I told him I drink about 10, 20 beers a weekend, which was a lie. I'll get to that here in a little bit. So anyway, yeah, today is September 21st, 2023. By the way, that way we can keep in track here. This is day one, and I want you guys to be with me. I want to try to make this entertaining, but this is real. I was also going in for blood work. The fatty content in my blood, my triglyceride level is high, and so I've been on that medication for probably a couple of years now. And so I'd already fasted and hadn't eaten all day. Today's a Friday, and so I couldn't wait to get out of the doctor's office so I could get me a 30-pack of beer. Man, I was all ready and excited. And he said, I want to check this and that. And he started naming these, all these different tests he wants to do with my blood work. And he started saying, you need to stay away from this and this. And he said, and of course, without saying alcohol as well. And I'm just like, shit. I'm like, so I went and got blood work done. And instead of driving to the gas station, I just went on by, came home. I was irritated. I just decided, I was like, well, I'm just going to lay down. And so I took about an hour and a half nap. I woke up and I thought, man, I've got to do something with my time. So here I am. With this page, I want to be serious, talk about serious things. This is a serious thing. I mean, he said that even through the word cancer out there, and God, I hope not. I'm hoping it's just an inflamed pancreas, but it's been that way. It has been that way for about 3 years. It's just hard to know. It's hard to even know where to start. And so that's why I'm in this series. I'm gonna do some talking like this, and I'm also going to show some videos of me going through my struggle. I've captured a lot of video of me in not so good moments, and I'm willing to show those moments to you and to myself, to watch myself, see myself. I've got so many videos. And so I want to share that. I want to share that with you guys, share that with myself, and hopefully grow along the way. So, I also want to have a little fun too. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's funny, I was going to make what was I going to call it? Drunken gaming and movie reviews or something like that. Where I was going to have a beer and talk about a movie or play a game. So I'm thinking I still want to do that, but I'm going to do it on this page. So we'll talk about serious stuff like this. We'll do some flashbacks. And then eventually, I'm working on getting a camera for my PS5. And eventually I'm going to get some gameplay and maybe even throw some movie reviews in there. You know, just make it a place of healing, a place of, you know, like I said, I just come up with this idea. And I want to engage you guys. And hopefully if you guys are going through something like this, we can learn together. I've got a lot of things to talk about. I've got several years. I mean, I started, you know, growing up, my dad was an alcoholic. And I always said, I'm not going to be like that. And he wasn't bad. I mean, he would get verbally abusive, but, you know, he never hit or anything like that. I mean, he'd whip my ass, you know, spankings and stuff like that. But, you know, he was more of a verbal abuser. So growing up, I didn't ever drink. I mean, I think I was 15. I had a couple of beers. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it made me feel. When I got married at 22 in December of 2002. At age 22, I got married with my wife, Jamie. And we've been married 21 and a half years. So yeah, you know, and there was a few times me and Jamie we'd go to the liquor store and get something and drink it. And we wouldn't, you know what I mean, just a weekend here or there kind of a deal. And then when I got at about 27, I was about 26, 27. I started drinking a lot more. Jamie had a roommate come in and live with us for a while, and I'm not going to blame her. You know, me and Jamie were not really, you know, the life of the party, so to speak. We're, you know, probably pretty boring people, but, you know, when she came in, she was real fun, you know, and her nickname was Red, and she was fun, and they, you know, my other friend Russell, he'd come around. He's a goofball. I'll show you some video of him too along this series. And she'd get bottles of Crown and beer and all this, and you know, it was fun, you know, and so it kind of started there. I don't want to talk, you know, for, you know, hours and hours. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a brief synopsis of where I'm at. You know, we're going to talk about a lot of things throughout this journey. So right now, I pulled this up. Let's see here. Let's see what this says. This says pancreatitis, an inflammation of the organ lying behind the lower part of the stomach. Pancreatitis may start suddenly and last for days, or it can occur over many years, which that's what I've been dealing with. It has many causes, including gallstones and chronic, heavy alcohol use. Symptoms include upper abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. You know, that's funny. No, it's not funny, but it's interesting. There was times when I would drink 20 plus beers in one night. And, you know, I'm a guy that never, when I get sick, I never throw up or anything like that. I got a pretty solid stomach. But there's been a few times where I woke up and just, you know, and had to call in sick because I thought I was sick. But it looks like this might be part of it here. So upper abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. Treatment usually requires hospitalization. Once they stabilize the patient, doctors treat the underlying cause. So I did try to quit. Let me see if I can pull this up right quick. So the first part of May of 2023, I was at work and on break, and I was on the computer, and I was watching these videos of these guys that's got cirrhosis and all this, and just their stories, and it just really got me to thinking, you know, and so I think it was around May 10th, I decided to quit drinking, and I made a video, and one of these episodes, I'll throw that in there and we'll watch it. I made a video, and it was tough. I had withdrawals for about 3 to 7 day period. The first 3 days was real tough. I was very irritable, so I'm probably gonna have to go through all that again, I'm sure. I went about a month and a half, and this spot still it still hurt. It still bugged me the whole time. And I got about a month and a half, maybe a little bit longer than that, and I had there's a trigger for me, which is, I like to do smoking, cooking outside, grilling, stuff like that. And for me, when you're outside doing that, you want to have a beer. And so my wife's like, it sounds good as if you did a pulled pork or something like that. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that. And I was like, well, I'm gonna stop by and get a few beers, just a few. And then I got right back into it again. So how many was I drinking? How many did I get to? We moved to this house, which is a town about 15 minutes away from the other town we lived at. I'm gonna say probably 3 years and 2 months ago. And since we moved here, I was drinking, I would say five beers a night during the weeknights. At least 5, sometimes more. And on the weekends, I get me a 30-pack, drink it. Then there was several weekends where my soon-to-be brother-in-law, he would bring vodka over, a big old jug of it. He'd bring it, and we'd drink on it, and he'd leave it, and shit, I'd fucking sip on that, throughout the next week. I mean, so you're talking. Shit, let's just figure it up. All right, so let's just figure this up. How many beers is that? And that's just beer. 6-point beer, by the way. So if I drank 5 beers for 5 nights. That's 25 beers for 5 nights. Plus a 30-pack. That's 55 beers in a 1-week period times 4. That's 220 beers in 1 month. So 220 beers times a 12-month period. How much do you guys think that is? That's 2,640 beers in 1 year. Plus, I'm going to say for a year and a half there, shit. I'm going to say shit. Almost every weekend for a while there, we had vodka too. So 2,640 beers. So you might as well round it up to about 3,000 beers in 1 year. That is a lot of beer. That's a lot of beer. So of course I'm going to try to keep these episodes short, as short as I can. I just wanted to lay everything out, kind of my plans. I thank you guys for being with me. It means a lot. We're going to do this together. Alright? So, I thank you guys. Be good to yourself.